At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough. If we care enough. If we care enough. If we care enough.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
Now, narcissism is often characterized by a sense of self-importance, a sense of entitlement. There's haughty behavior, and they can be very disagreeable. They can be highly sensitive or highly resistant to criticism. There is a lack of empathy, and they can be very manipulative. And these characteristics, these behaviors are not just once in a while. They're almost like a default setting. They are long-term, they are pervasive, and they are consistent. And also, just consider that many narcissistic people have what I would call a public face and a private face. Publicly, to others, they can be very kind, caring, virtuous, noble, and so on. It's behind closed doors with their victim that they can be toxic, disagreeable, and devaluing. So you may not hear the following things word for word, but maybe something resembling it, or you may see it expressed in their behavior. So firstly, if they get pulled up on their bad behavior, maybe there's no way for them to blame shift or get out of it. One way or another, they are facing the consequences of their behavior. They may ask for a second chance, a clean slate, if you will. However, it isn't long before they're just going back to doing the same things again. And eventually, the partner might find that that person has now had maybe 100 second chances. And when the partner keeps bringing this up, the fact that there's no change, they may hear something from the narcissist like, I am trying very hard to make this work, and all you do is keep bringing up the past. So the partner sounds as if they're holding a grudge. They sound unforgiving. Next, the narcissist might just keep asking for the same things over and over again, no matter how many times the partner says no. The partner may hear things like, can you not? Will you not? Why won't you? But I don't understand why you won't. Why would you say no? I don't think that's fair. That's actually really selfish. And the aim here is to wear the partner out, to grind them down until they just say yes, to get them to be quiet. Now, even if the partner explodes in frustration, says something like, just do whatever you want, as far as the narcissist is concerned, the partner has just said yes. And again,
Man, the voice of reason is on fire once again. The villain-victim paradox is the topic. When does a victim become a villain in the relationship? And do they put the victim mask over the villain mask? Oh my goodness, tonight is on fire, man. Our first caller out the gate is killing. Reggie from Austin, Texas. Reggie, get in here.
Man, I think we put the villain mask over the victim and so forth and so on because we operate at the position of our fear.
You're 100% correct, but I don't want you to start with there. I want you to start back at that forgiveness piece.
Absolutely, but I mean, if you operate above fear, then you can do things that are not natural, and forgiveness is not natural. It's not natural at all for you to forgive others. It's not natural for you to forgive yourself. And if you're operating in fear, you'll never do anything that's unnatural. You'll always be bound to the natural.
That's heavy. But I'm gonna take what you said, and I'm gonna roll with you. But I got some pushback. But Reggie, guess what you just did, my brother?
I brought Austin in the building.
Austin, Texas is in the building on the forgiveness piece. I don't think forgiveness is supernatural with regards to its acquisition and cultivation within your spirit. I don't think it's supernatural. But I do think it has supernatural powers. Luke chapter 7, verse 47. Therefore, I tell you, her many sins have been forgiven, as her great love has shown. But whosoever has been forgiven loves little. Again, whoever does not forgive loves little is the scripture. Right? But to whom little is forgiven, he loves little. That's the verse. Therefore I say this to you. Her sins may have been forgiven, for she loved much. But to whom little is forgiven, he loves little. In other words, you can't love without forgiveness. And many people don't love without forgiveness. Let's go even deeper. Matthew 18, 21 through 35. Then Peter came to Jesus and asked, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sins against me? Up to 7 times? Jesus answered him, I tell you, not 7 times, but 77 times. Y'all not Christians if you're not doing that. We live in a don't play with me, don't play in my face culture. We live in a very vindictive, toxic, narcissistic culture. Let's just be honest about it. See, if you live the way Jesus lived, the red words, right? Matthew. Peter then came to Jesus and asked, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sinned against me? Up to 7 times? Jesus answered, I tell you, not 7 times, but 77 times. Now, listen to what I'm trying to tell you here. I'm not saying go to somebody who's abusive, psychologically, spiritually, emotional, and keep getting beat up and forgiven. And I'm not saying that. I'm talking about the people. I'm telling you, we are at such a low threshold for relational infractions. I've heard somebody say, well, I forgave you 3 times. Jesus said up to 77 times. Ain't nobody doing that. And you'll hear people justify they ain't got time for that. But let me give my money to the church. Again, walk his walk if you're going to talk his talk, right? Luke, but to whom little is forgiven, he loves little. Many of us are cool with loving little. I'm sorry. We got callers on the line. Let's get them in here. Reggie from Chicago, get in here.
Yes, sir. Joe, what's good with it, man?
What's up, man? What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Man, I just want to say, first of all, man, I feel like every time I listen to the show, they talking about me, man. But I realized and listen to this that I had become a villain in my relationship unintentionally. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of having the strength to leave when you can't forgive somebody, I started to put myself in situations where I wasn't so faithful. You know what I'm saying? So in that type of situation, it was just hard to leave. You know, I'm a grown man. I don't have no kids. I love her daughter like she was mine. So when everything happened, it was hard to walk away from the relationship as a total. So instead of walking away, I started not closing doors that I knew should have been closed, you know?
So who do you need to forgive in this process?
Honestly, I don't know.
Yourself.
Makes sense.
Because what you're laying out to me is that you're beating yourself up for not doing something that you felt like you should have done, right?
Yeah, I think it definitely would have made the situation a lot easier.
So what is the situation? Like, was there psychological abuse? Was there verbal abuse? Was there physical abuse? What happened?
So honestly, I was in a relationship with my wife. We still married. We just separated. And what happened was the first 2 years of our relationship, man, I set myself up in a situation to where I distanced myself from everybody I know I had issues with. And 2 years into the relationship, I figured out that she wasn't doing the same thing. She was being unfaithful. And rather than not having the strength to leave, like I said, I had built a bond with her daughter, man. I don't have no kids. I can't have kids. I love that little girl like she was mine. So I didn't have the strength to walk away from that situation, and I stayed. But in staying, I changed some of my behaviors and wound up doing the same things that she was doing.
Did you do it out of vengeance? Was it get back?
I don't necessarily say that I did it out of get back, but what I did was stop putting myself in situations to where I know this chick isn't really my friend. You know what I'm saying? She want to go out and do everything that a married man is not supposed to do. And those are situations that I distanced myself from before I found out what I found out. So it's not, I don't want to say that I did it intentionally, even though I knew what would happen putting myself in those type of situations. I just never really thought about it the way that I'm thinking about it listening to your show.
So did it bring you peace? Did it bring you some type of joy? Like, oh, I'm escaping, and you know what? The situation that I got at home is a bad situation, so this is an escape, and it makes me feel good. It's like my safe haven. Did you ever have those kinds of feelings?
I kind of think it was more out of fear. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I don't know if she's necessarily going to stop doing what she's doing, but at least I have some fun too, if that makes sense.
No, that's get back. That's the first question I asked you. Now you double back. That's get back. You did it for some get back, and that's okay. That brought you some fun, right?
I mean, in the moment, yeah.
Right, but at the end of the day, it wasn't in alignment with your spirit, right?
Not at all.
All right, then. Listen, brother, don't beat yourself up about it. I've been in a situation like that too. You know, didn't tell the truth. You know, trying to hold on to something while trying to let something else go. I've been there before. Brother, don't beat yourself up for that. Just be true to the truth of who you are, right? What is true about you? And oftentimes when we scared, fear robs us of the truth about us, right? When we're scared, we be like, oh my God, I don't want to lose this situation. Or, oh my God, I don't want to mess this situation up. Oh, well, let me finish doing this. Wow. Fear robs us of the truth of who we are, brother. And let me just tell you this. You're a greater man today for having called in and sat on the damn line for 56 minutes to say what you needed to say regarding your truth. I respect you and I honor you as a man, brother, who's walked in your shoes. Thank you for telling us the truth tonight, brother.
No problem, man. I appreciate the show, man. I started listening to you with 5150, man, and ain't been able to get away from you, brother.
Hey, much respect, brother. Appreciate you, man.
All right.
See, sometimes, brothers, we gotta create a safe haven for our brothers to be able to speak the truth. Listen, if I lie to you, baby, I love you, baby. I love you. If I lie to you, I'm the damn villain. I did it. It was beneath me for doing it, but I did it. Fear, whatever it is, I shouldn't have did it. It wasn't morally right. But when you're in the presence of a man who is not afraid to be accountable for what he did or said to mislead you, you gotta say, let me not pull what I like to call, let me not pull the get out of jail free card to be resentful and angry and frustrated with him. Sure, you can feel what you need to feel. Let's feel it together. Let's work through the process together. This is why I say everybody shouldn't pick up the label of victim. Sometimes it's just an infraction. An infraction can be healed if you're willing and focused on healing it. But if you focused on, this is my time to put this little get out of jail free card, which means I get to come back and throw this in your face. I get to come back and justify stonewalling, justify all types of forms of emotional abuse because you did it. You're dealing with a villain. You're dealing with a villain who was genuinely hurt in a situation and now repurposing that hurt for get back. That's what a lot of distance in relationship is about. It's about get back. Let's talk about it. We got callers on the line. When I come forward, we going to Oakland, California and Houston, Texas. If you want to get on the line, call me 1-800-920-1580.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, what are you doing up on the step stool?
About to clean these light fixtures. The whole family's coming over, and if there's even a speck of dust in the house, my abuela will find it.
Here, I got a Swiffer duster to help with that.
A Swiffer what?
A Swiffer duster. It has this cool extendable handle that reaches 6 feet to get high and low, with fluffy dusters that easily trap and lock dust.
So, no more step stool?
No more step stool.
Easily trap and lock dust from hard-to-reach places with the Swiffer duster. Love it or your money back.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Helping to broaden your political and moral imagination with our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. We're KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Okay, check it out. It's Santana again. Stepping out. One of them brand new big boy toys. I do big boy things. I make big boy noise. Cause I know what girls want. I know what they like. They wanna stay up and party all night. So bring a friend.
Let me talk to you, tell you how it is. I was thinking when I saw that body, gotta get shorty. Tell her what the young boy gon' do. Damn them chicks with you, gotta be your kin. Stay pretty thick with a kick that's sick, that need to be hit. So tell me what y'all gon' do. I got friends and you got friends. They hop out and you hop in. I look fly and they jock in. The way you drop makes me pop. I got friends and you got friends. They hop out and you hop in. I look fly and they jock in. The way you drop makes me wanna pop. Is your man on the floor? If he ain't, let me know. Let me see if you can run it. Girl, indeed I can run it. Is your man on the floor? If he ain't, let me know.
Did your relationship start out just fine? Are you wondering what went wrong? Relationships involve engagement and commitment from both parties. You enter new relationships with past hurts, but it's important to be cognizant if or when you're projecting it into or onto a relationship. A relationship can go awry when either party becomes disengaged, fosters resentment, or brings in past conflicts, thus creating a dysfunctional relationship. Dysfunctional relationships can cause distress and strain on the relationship. Eventually, the relationship can break down. Many dysfunctional relationships are rooted in childhood. When you lack a model of a healthy, functional relationship, the patterns that you learn may find a way into a new relationship. In order to avoid, move past, or fix a dysfunctional relationship, we first need to acknowledge our role in the relationship. According to Dr. Stephen Cartman, a transactional psychologist and former student of Eric Berne, MD, here are 3 major archetypes within a dysfunctional relationship. 1. Victims. Perhaps the most recognizable archetype is the victim. You've seen them depicted in movies and books. They're the relatable protagonists that we love and secretly root for. You root for them because you witness them go from victims to victors. But life is not a movie. You can't wait for others to come in and save you or provide you the support that you need on your journey to transformation. At the crux of a victim personality type is fear. The fear that you'll be or are unable to carry on your own. There's a negative loop in your head telling you that you can't until you start to believe it. And when you do, you slip into passive control over your life. Some wounds are created in childhood. Perhaps your parents were unavailable physically or emotionally, or you had a dysfunctional relationship in the past, or sometimes you may be victimizing yourself. Holding on to a victim mentality can be harmful because it can lead to feelings of worthlessness, self-sabotage, and possibly depression. According to Professor Ketz de Vries, management scholar and psychoanalyst at INSEAD in France, those with a victim mentality unconsciously seek out disappointment in order to create feelings of guilt or pity because it fulfills their desire to receive attention. Psychologists call this secondary gain. There are various manifestations of a victim mentality, according to Susanna Barlow. Some examples are the doormat, a victim of being taken advantage of and feels entitled to support and love from others. The weakling, victim to the belief that they are helpless and feel entitled to inaction, fear, and rescue. The patient, victim to your health or lack thereof and entitled to healing and to have someone else be responsible for their healing. The crusader, victim of loneliness or self-hatred and entitled to have others' sympathy and victimize those who do not agree with them. And the shadow victim, victim of circumstances and personal perceptions. 2. Rescuers. Are you someone who sweeps in like a superhero to save others? The knight in shining armor.
Wow. They was laying it flat. So many dang victims. We got to stop playing the victim role. We are villains too. We hurt people too. This is where the hurt people come from. And our society is so black and white in its thinking. We think, yeah, that's just the hurt people doing that. Some of us walk away from hearing hurt people thinking that we don't hurt people, when in fact, we have over and over and over again, right? when you're callous towards somebody's feelings, in other words, when you lack empathy for what somebody has gone through, for what you've put somebody through, that's a villain, right? For feeling justified for doing it too. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know people don't want to hear that. All right, here we go. Callers are on the line. Sean from Oakland, California, been on the I'm sorry. Atala was next. I'm sorry. She's been on the longest. Atala from Houston, Texas. Get in here.
Uncle Joe. Okay. I didn't get a chance to write nothing down. It is what it is. How are you?
I'm all right. What are your thoughts?
All right. So I'm definitely a fan of quitting.
A lot of people are.
Stop laughing because this is a serious topic. No, but for real though. Yeah. Okay. So let me put it to you like this. If you are someone who is codependent or you're dealing with boundaries, however you want to see it, right? Then you're going to quit because having to place that boundary means to have an uncomfortable conversation. Having to constantly forgive means that wound that's within you is going to be triggered. You're already triggered, which is why you want to quit. Let's keep it a buck. But I think even more so, you need the justification to leave. So the only way to do that really is to essentially allow them to mess up and kind of lay all your evidence out. Like, this is why I'm leaving. And of course, you don't have to justify that to them. You just justify it to yourself and you just leave. So, excuse me, I'm telling on myself right now, but it's just the truth. And so recently I had a situation with a friend where I had to have a very uncomfortable conversation, and they left. And so I thought to myself, dang, this is what I'd be doing. This is what I did. This is what I'd be doing. But I want to say one thing, just like to really encourage people out there, have the uncomfortable conversation, because if your whole reasoning for not being upfront or for not calling the person on their BS is to avoid the abandonment, there's no point in doing that, because if that person has plans to abandon you, they're going to do it regardless.
They're going to do it regardless. I hear you.
People make choices based on what's good for them. And I think that's just something that's really hard for people to wrap their minds around, especially if you're somebody who is codependent, because you think that you found the person that can essentially give you all you need. They can be the sustenance that you actually lack. And it doesn't work like that. It doesn't. You cannot find sustenance outside of yourself. If you're someone who looks for external validation, I think that's the first clue right there that you may be suffering from some codependency, because you're looking for crumbs from the master's table, but you are the master. You just haven't awoken to that yet. So, I mean, I just kind of want to say, I'm still struggling with this.
Wait,
I want to
stay
be
with
someone.
me. Stay with me, because you got more. You clearly have more. Hold tight when we come forward. Atala is on complete fire.
Gonna slow it down. I can definitely show you things. Hey, you saying I can't be 16. Once I get in, you won't let go. I had the girls wishing they were you. I know you heard about me, but guess what's going down in Wheelie?
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Esther Dillard, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The U.S. Embassy is evacuating non-essential staff members from Haiti as gang violence grips the Caribbean nation. The U.S. Southern Command says American military forces are assisting the operation and helping provide security at the request of the State Department. Families of diplomats and others were reportedly being airlifted out of the capital city of Port-au-Prince to safety. President Biden is calling on Congress to work with his administration to lower health care costs. While speaking in New Hampshire, the president outlined his health care agenda, which includes expanding the Affordable Care Act and capping out-of-pocket drug costs for seniors on Medicare. He contrasted his plan with Republican lawmakers who he says wants to repeal Obamacare. And Muhammad Ali will be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame next month. And that's the latest. I'm Esther Dillard from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Can your roof handle extreme weather? If you have leaks or a roof that is 20 years old or more, go to localroofs.com to schedule a free roof checkup and estimate. Get a new roof for as low as $198 per month on approved credit. Restrictions apply. Go to localroofs.com.
Climate is king.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough.
Have you fallen behind on your water and power bill? LADWP has made paying your past due bills even easier. Sign up anytime online for Level Pay to get set monthly bills that include past due amounts. Or check out the special extended payment arrangements of up to 48 months to help pay down your bill. Visit ladwp.com/cares and sign up today. That's ladwp.com/cares.
Tax Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. This tax season, you get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a new Samsung Galaxy A15 for just $99. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah! Good talk.
Switch to Straight Talk for plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at Walmart and straighttalk.com. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com. Device offer ends 4/14/24. In-store activation on single Silver Unlimited plan or higher required. Family plan discount with 4 lines all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
Don't shave with that, son. You'll get razor bumps.
Nah, Pops. I'm good with Gillette Skin Guard. How long you been growing that beard anyway? You know Mama hates it.
Yeah, had it since my last wet shave in 77. Got ingrown so bad, looked like I was growing a patch of new noses.
That's why I use the Gillette Skin Guard razor, face scrub, shave gel, and moisturize, so I don't have to worry about new razor bumps or shaving irritation.
Gillette Skin Guard, huh? Your mama's gonna love this one.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chucha's opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chucha's Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need a love doctor. And I need it right away. I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need to hear the doctor's voice of reason.
Yo, so I got this two-timing chick who got her revenge from when I was on my two-time tip. And even when I tried to correct it, she couldn't get past how she was disrespected, neglected my effort, a pair with no trust, dirty games and affairs that been tearing us up. If things ain't picture perfect, is it really worth it? I have an idea, but I need to know for certain.
I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need a love doctor. And I need it right away. I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need to hear the doctor's voice of reason.
In modern society, anger is the emotion that is disapproved of the very most. In fact, it is so disapproved of that when somebody gets angry, it's not seen as an emotion that somebody is having. It's seen as a character or personality defect. The reason that people are so resistant to anger is that it implies conflict, and so many people see conflict as bad and wrong. The thing is, people are wrong about anger. Anger is a reaction to perceived powerlessness. It occurs when someone or something opposes one of your boundaries. What I mean by a boundary is a personal need of yours, a personal feeling, a personal desire, a personal truth, or one of your best interests. And that opposition induces pain. For those of you who have associated fear with anger, fear is a very painful sensation. So it goes hand in hand with what I'm saying. Anger will escalate to a state of rage when whatever thing or person that opposes the boundary shows a pattern of unworkability, therefore creating this sensation in the person who is feeling the anger and escalating to rage, that no matter what they do, they're not going to be able to change anything to this thing that's opposing their boundaries, and therefore they are losing hope about their capacity to get out of pain or fear. For example, imagine that one of your personal boundaries is that you need a partner who is available, but your partner withdraws. This will cause you to feel pain. If you feel powerless to getting your partner to be available, you will then get angry. And if your anger does nothing to discourage their behavior and encourage a positive change to their behavior, and they continue to be unavailable, they are demonstrating unworkability. It is then likely that the anger will escalate to rage. If you want to learn more about this, you can watch my video titled The Anger Hack: What to Do When You're Upset. When a child is little, a child needs to understand or know that mommy or daddy or any other caregiver is an ally to their best interests. When a child is little and their parent or caregiver opposes one of their boundaries, remember, a boundary is one of their needs, one of their desires, something that they perceive to be in their best interests, the parent suddenly doesn't feel like an ally to their well-being anymore. In fact, whatever the parent is doing or not doing is causing them pain. That's terrifying in a world where your entire life experience is controlled by this person. So it kicks a child into a state of powerlessness instantaneously. The child does what he or she can to make sure that his or her parent is allied with him or her. The child gets angry to discourage future opposition.
We carry all of this stuff into adult relationships. If it's not resolved, that's what we've modeled. And we will carry this right into our adult relationships for resolution, not just for conflict. Conflict leads to something. Conflict has a spiritual purpose. It's unfortunate, but this is true. Attila from Houston, Texas is on. She was already cooking. Let's get her back in here. Attila, what are your thoughts, your final thoughts here?
What's up? Okay, so I believe that there may be a connection between anxious, preoccupied, right, codependency, and overzealous forgiveness. I don't know how to say that without it coming out a little, but
Come on.
Don't get me wrong. I think that it's great to have a big heart, a beautiful heart. But I do believe that if you are someone who struggles with anxious, preoccupiedness, however you want to say it, you're not going to have to me, a full grasp or what would the word be? You might have a distorted view of what it means to have that reciprocity and forgiveness within the same space, if that makes sense. Because there's this certain level of starvation there that you have, right? You want it, like I said, that crumbs for the master table, that's enough because you've been so starved. And so I think that that's something that needs to be looked into, in the sense that if you are constantly having to forgive someone for however many infractions, at some point, perhaps you have to acknowledge that this person just doesn't want to do it. Like, they just, either they don't have the capabilities or they don't have the willingness. And either one is not going to get your needs met. And so if your focus has always been on the needs of others instead of your own needs, then to me, you will go into resentment. You will go into anger. That will cause you to become a villain, even if you are in the victim's seat the majority of the time, because you're not really acknowledging the reality of your situation.
I love it. You're not going to get no argument out of me. You thought I was going to push back?
No, I want to, come on now, push back. Come on. I love, don't get me wrong, I love forgiveness. I think that is beautiful, and I'm the type of person I'm going to forgive more often than not. However, I think that I've also learned that it's okay to quit and forgive at the same time. Like, I could say I forgive you and still walk away.
Absolutely. Absolutely, but I don't think that is the point. I think most of us are operating in conditional forgiveness. Right? That's what I think. Most of us are operating in conditional forgiveness. And most of us...
Can you explain that a little bit?
I'm going to go deeper, because most of us have been taught to have a very short stick or a very short leash for people that hurt us. Right? We've been raised this way. We've been raised in a recompense society. You don't get to hurt me. You don't get to disrespect me. But unfortunately, that is the way of spiritual maturation in a lot of ways. Right? For forgiveness to be so powerful, Martin Luther King and all of these guys, Martin Luther King, Gandhi, all of them spoke very highly of forgiveness. Why? Because it's a spiritual principle. A spiritual principle doesn't have a lot of space for unhealed wounds. Why? Because it's going to sound crazy to an unhealed wound to apply that principle. So if I say, Rumi says, the wound is where the light enters, right? Or if Rumi says, keep breaking your heart until it finally opens. Or if Jesus said, no, Peter, you don't forgive 7 times, you forgive 77 times. Do you see what I'm saying? Many people do not understand that just like unconditional love, unconditional forgiveness is a high level of consciousness. But again, we live in a transactional society. So transactionalism also plays a role in get back. You hurt me, so it's time for me to hurt you. Right? And sometimes we get back by doing better. Watch this. I'm going to make it so you can still see my life. Do you see? Do you understand? Do you see what I'm saying? We're talking about high-level spiritual principles here that we use as playthings because we don't really understand them, because we don't have a spiritual or an experiential reference for them. Do you understand? Pima Chandra, my experience with forgiveness is that it sort of comes spontaneously at a certain point. And to try to force it, right, is not really forgiveness. It's Buddhist philosophy or some spiritual jargon that you're trying to live up to, but you're just using it against yourself as a reason for why you're not okay. See, forgiveness is lined up with letting go. What are we holding on to when we have a problem with forgiving? What are we holding on to?
Ego, fear, and mental water.
Okay, what's a synonym for justice?
A synonym for justice, you said?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, there's so many retribution. Damn.
I'm gonna make it simple. Payback. That's transactional. Yeah. So listen, an infraction is a debt. It's a debt incurred. Pay me back. That's the culture we live in. And if you owe me, I'm in the victimhood position now. Now, because you owe me, yes. I'm in victimhood position.
Yes, but you're not free. That's a prison.
That's what I'm...
That's a self-contained prison, in my opinion. Again, you can forgive, but to me, I can forgive and walk at the same time. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying.
I'm time with that.
Yes, but I'm not saying... See, because forgiveness has nothing to do with the other person. It has to do with you.
Right.
But the reason why... But again... How many of us use victim as or use unforgiveness as a control mechanism?
This is true.
Is that not villainy? I want to be able to wash your face in what you did. Is that not villainy?
This is facts.
You owe me.
This is facts. But to me, I think there's room for both.
Sure.
Because
it's not either or.
What I mean by that. Like, if you're dealing with somebody who's a narcissist, right, and you cause a narcissistic injury, right, I mean, you know, they may look at that as, you know, quote unquote, you rubbed their face in it, whether you did or not, right? Just you speaking truth to them is rubbing their face in it.
Oh, yes.
So some of that to me is like, it's the eye in the beholder type of thing. Like, it depends on, to me, how the person views it, because you know, if someone is moving in a space of, well, you know what, like, clearly this person, like, does not value me in this way, so I'm just going to move how I'm going to move. You could argue it's transactional, but, I mean, what part does karma play in this as well? Like, I heard someone say that karma is not a person experiencing bad things because of something that they've done, but it's also not you getting something good off of the back of someone else, at someone else's expense. And so it really kind of made me think of it, because at the end of the day, I mean, like, your heart posture plays a big role in this. And so, I mean, I don't know, if I do think that there's balance in this. I'll just say that. But
of course.
But no, I definitely think that it's wrong to, the reactive abuse is still abuse. Nonetheless,
reactive abuse. Come on, that's what we talking about. Victims of victims.
Yeah, I mean, the reactive abuse is still abuse, and it's not the same thing as someone defending themselves. I want to clarify that too, because there was a lot of that kind of talk in the comments. Like, to me, there is a difference between you defending yourself versus reactive abuse, and kind of sneak attacking somebody or whatever.
We love it. Guess what you just did, child? I got to move forward. Guess what you just did?
I brought Houston in the building.
Houston, Texas in the building. One of our favorites. We love it when you call in. What happened to Sean? Sean, get back in here. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. When I come forward, we're going to Mountain View, Hawaii. Let's get it.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Hey Californians, are you ready to make your home ownership dreams come true? The California Dream for All Shared Appreciation Loan Program might be for you. First-generation homebuyers can get down payment and closing cost assistance along with a first mortgage to help you unlock the door of your new home. Applications open in April, so talk to an approved lender to see if you're eligible. Find out more at calhfa.ca.gov/dream or call 877-922-5432. A message from the California Housing Finance Agency.
If your Medi-Cal is ending, Cover California is here to help. Cover California is a service from the state that helps you get affordable health insurance. In many cases, at no cost to you, just like with Medi-Cal. We have quality health plans and will help you every step of the way to get the one that works for you and your family. So, if you're no longer eligible for Medi-Cal, check out Cover California. We'll keep you covered. Learn more at coveredca.com.
Girl, I have a secret. When I get stressed out, I get sweaty. That's why I use Secret Clinical Antiperspirant. It's like my own secret weapon. For 72 hours, I get Secret's strongest protection against sweat caused by stress, heat, and activity, because you know how crazy life can get. Plus, it's made with advanced odor fighters that don't just cover up smelliness. They help prevent it from happening in the first place. Believe me, if I weren't wearing Secret, I'd be a hot, smelly mess. Thankfully, Secret works.
Around here, we don't believe in victimhood. We believe in raising our voices, amplifying black voices in the climate conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit lafla.org. lafla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Somewhere in another galaxy. Too much to take, these memories end in tragedy. In all of these places, all of these faces, I didn't wanna let you down. And all these mistakes of mine, I can't replace it. I gotta move on somehow. Healing energy on me, baby. All I really need's one thing. Healing energy on me, baby. Can you make a wish for me? Healing energy on me.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you why I played Chris Brown tonight on this villain victim paradox show. Because this young brother can't seem to get out from under the villain. This brother been working his tail off, doing the best he can, trying to recover from a mistake. We live in a culture, man, that, mistakes are like stains, right? And it seems that no spiritual detergent strong enough has been made to wash away a stain. Once you stain somebody's spirit, that stain turns into disdain. And it's almost impossible to get rid of it. That lets me know we live in an unforgiving society. And yes, there are nuances, and forgiveness is on a spectrum. Let's do that for Attila. Yes, forgiveness is on a spectrum. Yes, you can forgive somebody and walk away, but that's not the point I'm making. What I'm saying is many of us say we forgive, but we really don't know how to forgive. Because the type of forgiveness that this society creates is a transactional forgiveness. Right? Change behavior. Well, Chris changed. Y'all haven't forgiven him yet. I'm sorry. I digress. That's why we played Chris Brown all night tonight. John, my final caller, Mountain View. Get in here.
Greetings and blessings, Joe.
My
Again,
brother.
You caught me at work. My guy. My dude.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What are your thoughts, man? You got a little bit of time. You better get it.
No, a little bit of time. At what point do we find our own balances and just live our lives the best way that we possibly can?
How about that?
Again, I don't know about the transactional side of trying to forgive somebody. The whole transition got something to do with mainly you anyway. So, yeah, I'll probably never be seen in the eyes of my parents, my children, or anybody that I significantly love or appreciate the way that they see me.
Right.
There's nothing transactional about that. I have given you the best that I got, and even the consequences thereof of what I gave you, which was my best, you could still see it as probably the worst thing I ever gave you.
Right.
Again, I raised a daughter to be a monster out here in these streets, and unfortunately, that same monster gave me a D grade as far as being a parent.
I hear you, brother.
And the simple fact that did it change the love that I have for this child? Hell no. Say something about her now, and I'm coming to get you.
You underdig. You underdig. I hear, boy, don't talk about them little girls now.
But in every instance of life, we all look at things the way we see it. Sure, some of us looking through rose-colored glasses, some of us looking at it from different perspectives and different avenues, and we put it through filters that we have suffered.
Right.
Check fired, ladies and gentlemen. You have your own madness.
I love it, brother. You know we got to push, John, but guess what you just did, my brother?
Go. Again, I do also want to see you and Attila sitting at that desk having a chop-up session. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Attila, man, helping us with all these dang topics. We appreciate Attila. We love the calls. We love you, brother. Thank you for always supporting. Listen, the voice of reason knows how to start a conversation, but it is up to you to finish it. Up next, the fire shall continue. You know who it is, my girl, your girl, our girl, Jill Monroe. RSVP with Jill Monroe up next. I'll see you tomorrow with another slapper.
How's it going? It ain't going good. My girl ain't doing the thing she used to do at all. I got just what you need. Brand new Chris Brown, T-Pain. You heard it here first. Nappy Boy Radio. We love you.